They shit in the cup and eat it. Afternoon, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm sleepy. What's up?
I'm happy to talk about this stuff, and Jerry and I got a tight 30 minutes, so we're gonna set a timer right now. We're gonna set a timer right now, and we're gonna be giving away Ghostbusters 1 and 2 digital downloads. I'm gonna actually add that little graphic in here, so you are more than welcome to obviously wait till the end to do your submissions. That looks great. We're gonna be giving away Ghostbusters 1 and 2, but before
Busty 1 and 2 giveaway. Why you came?
No, but super excited to talk some Bad Batch. These episodes today were fantastic. Absolutely. Jerry, if I'm gonna be honest with you, some Bad Batches do have a little bit of a build up, and this one, obviously, to me, was a little bit of a build up. I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know how it was going to make me feel by the end of it. And they 100% came through with, another one of my word drops, M counts. They did another M count drop, man.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
We're sitting watching the screen going, say the word. I know you probably don't know the word, but surely you heard it. Like while you were talking to like a Jedi or something, or did the Jedi just go like, listen, we don't talk about the M word and stuff around the clones. We just don't do that. But yeah, listen, I'm ready for them to actually drop.
Just give it to us. Just drop it, dude. And Hemlock's gonna say it. I just know he's gonna say it.
Oh, Hemlock's gonna be the one. Hemlock's going to be the bastard to say it. We're all going to lose our shit. We're going to love it. We're going to fucking hate him for it.
First time since 2005.
Yes.
Or I guess since the Darth Plagueis novel, even though it's technically not canon. So we're going to finally hear that word one more time. But yeah, everyone tuning in. And I'm going to set a timer right now. Set a timer for 25 minutes. In 25 minutes, we will be giving away. Oh, it's at 50 minutes. I don't know what. Okay, let me fix that. In 25 minutes, we'll be giving away.
That's 225
copies. We're gonna give away copies of Ghostbusters 1 and 2 digitally, and we'll give you the actual how to enter into that in 25 minutes. So stay and join, hang out.
Yeah, it's a single code for both movies. It's from the 35th anniversary edition, I believe, Blu-ray that came out a couple years ago.
Yep.
And so guys, get ready to put those hashtags in the chat. But this for one thing, they kind of spoiled with the banner for this episode that this is the episodes that we knew Wolf was coming. He's in the trailer.
Yeah.
But they had Wolf on the banner. So I'm like, oh, okay. It's Wolf's episodes. Here we go.
Which was a cool surprise nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh, it was really, well, he doesn't end up showing up until the end of the first episode. Right.
Exactly.
So we see these, what do they call these basically proto Death Trooper clone troopers? They call them.
They had a name for them.
Or?
Yes. they had a name for them. I forget what they were referred to as, but I can tell you this much. Very threatening. And there's a bunch of theories going around on Twitter. I don't know if you saw this, but everyone's theorizing that they are indeed. What do you think? What do you think? What did you see?
I am more like, I've seen people say this. I'm not the one to originate this at all. Like you say, I think I know what you're going to say.
But
And I am more convinced now than ever that because of the way that they focused on this specific proto Death Trooper.
Yeah.
And the way they disguised the voice, I was listening to it this second watch through. When he talks to Wolf at the beginning of the second episode, he's got a certain cadence of a certain character that
Which one?
I feel.
What do you think?
Well, good news. Echoes or not Echo? Good news. Tech is still alive.
You think it's Tech? Okay, I think it's a clone of Crosshair. That's I think because he's a sharpshooter. Okay. He's a sharpshooter, right? And you've got those moments where like he is nailing it. He has the same exact guns as Crosshair. He's got the and like what a better motif of like this guy also doesn't really follow orders, even though he does. You know what I mean?
Well, and what a good way to present that, like, what a good way to give Chris Ryans what he wants and have the Bad Batch turn evil. Instead, it's just, well, we just have evil versions of you.
Which is cool as shit.
Which was that. It could be an evil Tech. It could be Tech's clone or something like that. But yeah, anyway, I just listening. I mean, it has a little bit of Crosshair, but the cadence felt very techy tonight upon my second rewatch. So,
yeah, of course. Yeah, I think too, if we're gonna really take a second and appreciate the episode, you've got a moment of conflict that Star Wars, obviously they've done it before, but like one battalion of clones versus another battalion of clones. And it was very compelling when they had the standoff of you can either go this way or go this way with your decisions. And Wolf being a character that was already kind of Empire heavy, if I'm not, well, I guess you could say that, in Rebels.
Right. Yeah. So no, he was still kind of like, it felt like he was like having flashbacks and stuff like that.
Yes.
In Rebels. Yeah. He was very, he reported them to the Empire and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's an Empire boy, but not like in the he was just one of those like things like Crosshair. Crosshair just, had a thing about loyalty and he was like, well, this is my duty. This is what I do. But you even have his sense of honor in there when he first gets there. He's like, these aren't insurgents. These are clones.
Yeah.
Why are we killing clones? And then at the end, just letting them go. Right.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna full on get that. What me and you have both been talking about since season 1. We're getting the clone trooper uprising, and I think it's gonna be clone troopers versus TKs.
Oh, and that would be so cool.
Which will be because you could so epic.
Well, you can then phase out
splashing.
You can phase out TKs after that if they're not effective. Yeah, like, well, we need to do something entirely different, or change their armor up, or something like,
or just like, hey, these guys are pretty good actually, so we're gonna up your armor. Here you go and stuff. I bet we get a stormtrooper by the end of this.
It's very possible.
Like an actual stormtrooper.
Trying to get a ticker going so you can see it, but I don't think it's. Yeah, I don't think you could really technically see it.
That's okay. I don't know if we can see it or not, but listen, you guys kind of. But yeah, here in a little bit, make sure you're putting in the chat that hashtag Bombad makes me feel good.
Yes. So if you want to enter in, you have to stay the entire time so you can be present and you can send us the email that you won. Bombad makes me feel good. Bombad makes me feel good. That is the hashtag you have to do.
And real quick, so let's rewind back to the very beginning because I thought it was very interesting. And when we first opened up, my first thought was we're on the planet that they go to in Rebels where they're trying to find the Force sensitive children. It felt more like that, but I think it could have been it could have been Pantora. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Because I mean, well, they go see Senator Chuchi. And it's the senator that the senator from the not Trade Federation, from the Confederacy,
from the first season.
In the first season. Yeah, finally coming back around and everything.
Yes.
I'm loving all the connection and everything. I love Mr. Holographic Monocle. I just think he's really, really fun.
So cool.
Well, just a good character all around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
his droid,
Seeds of Rebellion
was there too. Yeah,
I love the droid.
Well, and they never addressed it in a visual point of view of the Separatists are very much the original rebellion because they were against the Republic in the first place. And there are more Separatists.
He kind of says as much too, right?
Yeah,
he says
there's more Separatists than there are former Republic, administrators and leaders. So like, there's something to be said about that. Like, who was on the right side of the war the entire time? The very people that in the movies were the villains, quote unquote. And it's funny.
Right.
I will give you a little bit of storytelling, visual storytelling. I told this to my students recently because I actually made them watch a scene from The Phantom Menace that I was establishing, like, how to do a wide, how you do a medium shot, like how movies are constructed that way. And I told them in all war movies, if you watch war movies, the villains are always moving from the right screen to the left screen, and the heroes are moving from the left to the right screen. Well, you watch the Battle of Geonosis, it's not that. The Battle of Geonosis, you see the heroes moving from right to left, and then you see the Separatists moving from left to right. So I don't know if it's intentional, but you watch it and there's a visual to it. You go.
George is George is such a big nerd. There's absolutely merit to that. Yeah.
You can go to any action movie. Dune Part 2, if you haven't seen it yet. The heroes, the Fremen, move left to right, and then the Sardaukar move right to left. So you got these visuals that happen the entire time. And it's super interesting because if you watch yet again this episode of Bad Batch at the very end.
So, hold on.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was gonna like we got to talk about Dune sometime because
we do.
Because you saying that made me go then at the end. And again, spoilers for Dune Part 2 if you haven't seen it. Muad'Dib moves from right to left.
Yes. Yep.
At the end,
so there's some vision. Yep.
He's not quite the good guy.
It's not always that way, but most of the time it is that way. So like,
it makes sense if that's what it is, though.
Exactly.
Because again, that's the way that film ends. So again, go watch Dune Part 2, kids. It's great. It's good for your health.
So this was a very Crosshair heavy episode, and obviously the last episode was all about Crosshair getting trust from his friends again, the actual Bad Batch. But then Crosshair returns, and they're all like, "Man, I don't know. I don't know if I can necessarily trust you. You could be the spy." And when Crosshair has to interact with that one guy,
Hauser, the clone that everyone fell in love with, was it the first season? Like everyone was in love with him when he took his helmet off. It's like, some man, I got to get that haircut.
Exactly.
But no, Hauser was not having it with because he tried to kill him. He got his men killed. He was big in taking down Hauser. He was the one who said arrest those men. In that very episode. So he's got Hauser is hot, says Buck.
Yes.
And we all agree. We all agree, no matter who you're into, everyone knows Hauser is the shit.
Hauser's daddy.
But Hauser is daddy.
Yeah.
But I love that now the batch is back as a unit pretty much. Like after that last adventure, we're back. We trust each other, after our experience with Shai Hulud. We're back on good terms ish. At least we trust. But I love getting like more dad Crosshair.
Yes, me too.
Like,
and Omega,
him and Omega have a real they have a real interesting dynamic and everything because they had like all that time together.
They've been through trauma for 5 months.
Yeah.
They've been through trauma, and they didn't just talk twice. They talked probably every day, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah.
Because you only see it happen.
You feel like she goes there. Like that's her thing. As soon as she finishes her stuff, if no one's watching, she goes and talks to Crosshair. But yeah, I know what you were talking about. Whenever they're flying to, I think, meet Rex, and she's got a toothpick as well.
Yeah.
Which was just adorable. That's as kids. Kids, they and again, she is technically older than them, but she's at the age where she's like gonna I'm gonna kind of replicate what I'm seeing in the grown-ups around me.
Of course.
So yeah, space ages are weird.
Yeah, they're very bizarre. And y'all, I'm just letting you know, in about 12 minutes, we're giving away Ghostbusters 1 and 2. So share this with your friends. Absolutely right. If you want to spread the Ghostbusters love, we've got 2 digital copies of 1 and 2. I'm sorry, one copy of each, but
one code, 2 movies under one code. You get Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2. You can get ready for the new movie that we've been building up to this whole time.
Exactly.
Anyway, yes. So get ready to put that hashtag in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Put the hash. It's hashtag Bombad makes me feel good. But this is one of those ones where when you watch this episode, I'm glad it was a 2-parter because I was kind of sad before I went to bed. I was like, man, I got to wake up and watch 2 episodes. Like, hopefully that's worth it. And it very much was worth it. And we've almost seen pretty much close to everything from the trailers at this point. There's a couple other shots. I'm like, well, we still need to see Cad Bane. We still need to see Fennec Shand. And we still need to see that one scene of them jumping from a tankard to one of the ships. Like there's a few things we need to see, and I do love that this show has such great titles. The titles, for those that do not remember, are the title of this episode, but they are Infiltration and Extraction. And I was like thinking, we're already going back to Mount Tantus, but I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, immediately what I thought too.
Yeah. Do you think
we're going to hold out a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's going to be probably the bigger part of the season. Did you realize where they were at first? Did you notice where they were? Like what planet they went to? Do you know what it's from?
Oh, okay. And again, in the chat, if you can tell us if it was either the planet they go to on Rebels to save the Force sensitive kids from the Inquisitors, or if it was Pantora, please let us know.
Hey, you know what it was? It was Teth.
The next one they go to was Teth, which was also featured in the flashbacks of
Ahsoka.
Yes. Oh man, Teth getting all kinds of love, and again, Teth not being my favorite that was not my favorite movie when I was when it came out and everything. I just looking back on it now, it's really cool how much depth and weight that location is given. Yeah, it feels like they're saying this is the end of that era truly.
Yep.
Even though we've been in the end of the Empires started probably like a year and a half ago at this point, maybe 2 years. It's kind of up in the air. I feel like how long it's been. But yeah. This is we're bookending the Clone Wars here, man.
It's so wild.
It's
so
weird.
wild. Now it's clone versus clone, and that was something I was never expecting from the series. And not because I wouldn't count, the whole first 2 seasons of it, but now you've got clones that have turned, like a lot of clones. Rex has got a pretty big compound he's running, and obviously there was other safe houses that they can go to because they had an escape plan, and I just think this show is doing something that we never thought would be possible, because now, and like we all said, Clone Wars really does a lot for the prequels, and then Rebels is a lot for the prequels and the OT. This show is doing some crazy work for the prequels, the OT, and the sequel trilogy. Like you're getting all these crazy answers all in this one show, and I really do hate that people are sleeping on this. And we've got friends that we know that don't like it, and that's okay. You don't have to like it, but even if you don't like the family dynamic, the canon of it, the lore of it, the richness of the storytelling for the overall tapestry of this lore and universe is fantastic. Like it's so well done. It's so thoughtful. It's so poetic. I wish I could explain how it makes me feel. It's 5 a.m. and I'm watching this, and I'm lifted every morning. I am. Right. I'm like, this is just great. This is such good storytelling. Yeah.
Well, and again, like we've said it a million times since this show's been out, like this is the most brilliant way to tell the story of the rise of the Empire is through the eyes of the soldiers that they kind of cast aside.
Yep.
And like the clones are the perfect vehicle to tell this story. we've seen enough Jedi in this time. It's so nice to get this perspective on it, like the more on the ground perspective. But also, man, I don't know, just like the way that, so again, we've got, by the end of the episode, the clones that are left with Wolf kind of going like, aren't they traitors? Like, it doesn't matter. You notice that none of the TK troopers have, I guess, survived or gotten down there when they let them go, or they're either up on the top or they all got and so it's just interesting because like the TKs don't have like the stormtroopers don't have that loyalty. They truly don't. They're just like, they are blind. They're more robotic than even like the clones who were engineered for battle. Right. They're more susceptible to it. It's just like the normal person going, again, it's like our real world. You got all these people who want to join up to these kind of causes and stuff just to prove something, or just to fight, or just, for any different reason and everything. And they just kind of become gears in the machine. And that's all these guys are. It's just, I don't know. I find it very interesting as well. And I also loved that their escape craft kind of looked like, it reminded me of the craft that Finn and Rose take with BB-8 to Canto Bight. So, like that little, like, it doesn't look like a ship, it looks like half a ship or something.
It's so
weird. Looks like it looks like one of those old Kenner, like we made like a weird vehicle that's not in the movie. But this is what it looked like. It's kind of cool, like a modular kind of thing. Cool. It was really neat.
Yeah, I think it's another important thing to really acknowledge is that there is a actual baptism of one character, and not to get too much in the mythical aspect, but like you quite literally see Crosshair be dipped fully in water for a moment and to come out again, not as a new person, but as someone who has gone through a significant change in probably less than a week. Like significant change. Stuck on Tantus,
I mean, stuck on Tantus and everything. Like, I'm sure he, like, again, we knew he had no love for the Empire, but yeah, like you're saying, like in the last week or so, he's kind of like full on, like in the rebellion now. Like he's on board with it, which is crazy. And he's still weak. Been great to watch.
I don't know if you noticed, but when he shot the sniper, he had to equip a bomb on the end of it because his accuracy has not gotten better. If anything, it's gotten worse. And we knew the clones would degrade at some point, but watching it through Crosshair, who is probably has the most use out of his special power. Like Wrecker's a big, strong guy. That you really can't finesse that. Hunter is like a tracker. You can't really finesse that. Tech obviously was really good at technology. Couldn't really, and then you've also got Eka, who was not a bad batch, not originally designed as a bad batcher, but is. But the one we see actually failing is Crosshair, which is such a weird bit of poetry to me. He's the one that's not doing well, with his body aging and changing. And but what's really weird, I don't know if you thought about this, if this is indeed like 2 years after the Empire, they haven't really given us a timeline, in about 12 years or so, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe like 15 years, those clones are looking old. Like, think about Rex and 15 years of Rebels.
Like
yeah, they're looking old. So you got to think, we have never thought about the skill of a trooper going out. We've always thought about them just aging naturally. So it makes me kind of sad to watch that a little bit. If I'm going to be honest with you, I'm like, damn, like he's losing that skill, but it's still cool nonetheless to visually see it in a character like him, the one that was initially good, that went bad, that went back to being good,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What else did you like?
Beautiful story. It's been a beautiful story. Well, I mean, just again, visiting the locations, getting the little talk between the senators, how the network of clones that Rex has built up were like security detail for this rebellion, early rebellion meeting. Really cool. It's just they're leading to they're going to interesting places that we knew they would. And it's really cool to watch unfold.
And I agree.
I would take like at least 2 more seasons of the show. I understand. I'm greedy. I don't get tired of a thing very quickly like a lot of people do.
Same.
But I would take like 2 more seasons of this show, just like with more of a slow burn, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes. I'm not super nervous. I think it doesn't have to end darkly, and I'm sure it will end with a bit of hope, because everything Star Wars has to end with a little bit of hope.
Always does.
Even Revenge of the Sith. Even Revenge of the Sith ends with just a little bit of hope. You know,
Jerry,
even the one where Han Solo gets like frozen in carbonite, a little bit of hope. What's up?
I know a lot of people got screeners. I don't remember. I know Star Wars Explained. I know a couple of our friends did. But do you know when was it the first 10 episodes they said we got screeners for?
I think it was the first 8.
8. Okay, so after the first 8, let me see if I can count this. 1, 2, 3.
We're at 7,
1, 2,
I believe.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're right. So Bad Territory is the next one. And I'd imagine that's more of a mission, just based on what I see. Whereas to me, pardon me. Whereas this episode, thank you. This episode to me was not a mission per se. It was more of a, we've got something, come see it. Now we got to get the hell out of there kind of thing. Infiltration, however, that is obviously the mission for our villain, our Shadow Trooper, I think is what I might have called it. I don't remember the name. Right. I know in the chat remembers what the hell they called him. I don't remember off the top of my head. In about 2 minutes, by the way, my timer's going to go off in about 2 minutes, and we're going to give away Ghostbusters 1 and 2. It's kind of a quiet chat tonight. Make sure you put
Y'all go ahead and put hashtag. Go ahead and put the hashtag in there. Hashtag Bombad makes me feel good in the chat, and we'll pick the winner in a couple minutes. So we're listen. It's Ghostbusters 1 and 2 of the 2 original movies. So very, very good classic pieces of cinema here.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And if you want to put it the hashtag Bombad makes me feel good, and make sure you have a Gmail account or a Movies Anywhere account, which can be linked. So those things are interesting. We're gonna have to have you email us. I won, and then we'll respond to it. So Buck's got it. Buck might be the sole winner. We'll find out in about a minute.
Maybe, I don't know. I see a couple more people in there. Listen, y'all, put the hashtag in the chat.
Bombad, it makes me feel good. Anyone else? All right, Jay, you have any other feelings you wanted to kind of, go over as we come to a close on our discussion on these episodes?
I mean, not really. I think we've covered most of it. I mean, it's really cool seeing Wolf finally come into play, because we've gotten Gregor. We know Rex is around. We've gotten Gregor, and we were wondering where Wolf was, and now Wolf is showing up. I don't know. It's just it's really cool. I'm interested to see. Do those 3 get away together at the end of this season, or is that a more down the line kind of thing? I'm interested to see where we're going with it.
Me too. I love that when it comes to this show, they're not afraid to. Obviously, the whole point of the show is to humanize the clones. And I don't want to sound like that's anything more poetic than it already is, because it's super poetic. But like, I picture being that little boy. I really do. When an Attack of the Clones came out, you were probably what, like 14, 15, Jerry? I was literally I was like 7. And I'll never forget seeing it and seeing these clones, thinking they were so cool. And then now, as I've grown up, I realized how much they mean to me as a thematic device, because
they're not just guys with Jango Fett faceplates, right? Like,
real
that's not all that are.
That made you think of Jango Fett? I didn't know that was the intention.
No, it was supposed to be. It's Mandalorian, because he's like, it's what their T visors are.
Is that what it's supposed to refer to?
That's what it refers to. I don't know if you've ever noticed it. That is actually guys. Anyway, finish your nice point. I completely.
What I was saying is, I never forget seeing that army and that shot of Bail Organa, the famous one, your favorite one, Jerry.
Oh, the balcony punch heard around the world. Oh man, heard around the galaxy. That is
heard around the galaxy. But it has so much more weight.
That man can brutally punch a balcony, like silently punch a balcony. Jimmy Smits.
All right,
Jimmy Smits, you too good for this world.
The giveaway is happening. I'm gonna do a little video timer. In 1 minute, we're gonna give it away. Remember, all you gotta do.
Everyone in the chat.
Bombad makes me hashtag. I think Buck might be the winner. Bombad makes me feel good. Hashtag Bombad makes me feel good.
I see 5 people in the thing right now. So listen, if you're in there, go ahead, put the listen, what's a free thing? You know, like
free
even
movie.
if you don't look, it's free. A free movie, like not this, but like a digital code that is Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
We're gonna do
you will receive
1 minute countdown, and then I'll enter the names in and we'll draw it. So 1 minute Bombad. Well, actually, we'll just talk over the video because we can unmute ourselves. So let's do it. Bombad good. Hashtag Bombad makes me feel good. Y'all hear me? You can hear me. Jerry, you gotta unmute yourself. You're not unmuted, Jerry.
I am unmuted now. Yep. Bombad makes me feel good. I can hear you.
Very good. I think I might have given it to Buck.
Buck might be the only winner. Listen to here.
Bombad
Buck is undefeated.
Bombad makes me
Hashtag Bombad makes me feel good in the chat. Do not put the hashtag in the chat. Hashtag Bombad makes me feel good. Come on. Got you.
Here we go. Buck might be the winner.
Music countdown is very loud.
It is very loud. Sorry. All right, Buck. I think we're just gonna give it to you. No one else commented it.
Nobody wanted it. So Buck, you're the winner. Congratulations of the Bombad Makes Me Feel Good giveaway.
Dude, you get
1 and 2.
Buck, I know you love these movies too. Do you already own them? Be honest. You can tell us if you don't. If you don't, it's yours. If you own them, it's yours.
I mean, if you want this as also a gift to just give to someone you love,
that's true
as well. That's great.
You can always send to someone that maybe hasn't watched Ghostbusters, and we're just gonna. What Jerry's gonna do is gonna go on Twitter right now, actually, Buck, and he is just gonna DM you a picture of the stuff right now, and we're gonna end this stream. So, thank you for joining in. I'm glad the giveaway was a success. I'm glad it went to someone, especially a good friend of ours who we love very deeply. Someone we love. Oh, perfect. Buck, this is yours. I think it's an HD as well, Jerry. Isn't it like
this is 4K. It's 4K.
Oh, it's in 4K. Wow.
These are 4K. Yeah, like Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I believe, because it is movies anywhere. If you've got Apple TV, whatever you've got, you can get it's the ultimate version, whatever they have on that platform.
There we go. Wow. Well, thank you everyone for joining this evening. We will see you next week for the title episode called Bad Territory on this. Tomorrow, join us. We're talking Ghostbusters 2009. And then this actually concludes. After that, we've got our Afterlife discussion. And then after that, we've got our Ghostbusters Frozen Empire on next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that. Then back to Star Wars scheduled programming. So everyone, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. And remember, as always, you can follow us as well for anyone watching this post. It is.
Well, did you already say we have a pre-record tomorrow? I'm sorry.
Yes, it's a pre-record. Yeah, it's a pre-record, and it's with Charlie Ashby. So look forward to that. And Charlie. And as always, everyone, like you should, stay Bombad.